Hey, good looking. Pisces. Yeah. What I heard in my head was, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? So I know what today is for a lot of people. But yesterday was Independence Day for the United States Virgin Islands. And I am more excited about that than this Independence Day that we are claiming here. When it comes to freedom, people don't really know what that is. Pisces. We got all this heart energy, but more so than that, this is like etheric. But the doubles, 4488. Let me split the deck and see. Leadership, karmic completion, love, communication. Another triple. The synchronicity sitting in the middle. So this is an alignment thing, of course. I mean, you have all these doubles. 44, 33, 88. But you knew an ending was coming. Karmic completion. You do have love here. Leadership. Environment. Your environment is about to change. Or the way you see your environment is about to change. Or you're about to see new scenery. Communication and love are of the same vibration. But it's because of the love that the vibration is evenly yoked. Because each of you could carry this 3 vibration, or carry this 6, like it's 3 and 3 is 6. But also these 2 colors, they just go so well together. Like these are my school colors in college and in high school. They're both necessary. They're both primary. But you're seeing love. Crown. Third eye chakra. This blue, I know it's typical of the throat, but in this particular deck, this hue of blue is 6th chakra, third eye. So you're seeing, you have a perception of love, and that drives the communication in a willful way, in a way that takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength. You could be revealing truths or really just speaking from the environment. Like what you want your environment to be, you have to inject that into it. So this communication is evenly yoked, but as is the environment that wants to be created. It's not just one person's desire to have a peaceful environment. This is very tranquil. That green is like, what they call it, like fresh cut grass, and you know what I'm saying. Like it's a laid back type of joyous, comfortable type of feeling, and the abundance, it just ripples through, and it affects everything around you, and it's going to directly affect your leadership. So when it comes to karma and different things like that, you have completed something that left a lot of gray areas, left a lot of stones uncovered or unturned. There was really no, you get the purpose of what it was for, but it doesn't mean it didn't do any damage in its way of teaching you what the fuck you need to learn. It just gave you more reason to communicate that love that you were feeling, to want to change your environment, to start paying the fucking attention to the synchronicities that you are actually getting, that they do mean something. And parenting does come up now as more of a necessity, or that could have been what was missing. So in a way, it's being administered, this parenting, the lack thereof, or something that by way of your parents, the way you were brought up, the skills you were taught, the coping mechanisms, or whatever has kept you from being the best parent that you could be, or there you feel an interference, or the way that you raise your children is based on the parenting style of other people towards you, or what you're witnessing. This is now bringing it to two separate issues, where communication is one thing. You can communicate all day long with your kids. It doesn't mean love them. You can love them and not communicate with them, and there will still be a sense of imbalance and still a sense of loss. You need both. 6 and 3. So it's a combination, it's a compilation of these energies that remedy the karmic energy, the residual energy. That's what brings it to a point of completion. And for that very reason, you're stepping into leadership, because you're purely ascending through, like, underneath that parenting card was personal growth. So you've come out of it's like root and sacral. You had that on lock. You kind of got a handle on that. What makes you stable, what makes you solid, what you value, how you feel about yourself and your ability to work and build in this world. You know what I'm saying? Sacral chakra, what you desire, what you feel like, what you've been through, stuff, different stuff like that. But then it started to ascend the different energy centers and really make fucking sense. That's when it comes in the form of a manifestation, which could be a person, place, or thing. But I really feel that now that you've got the hang of it, you're able to start using this ability elsewhere. It really fucking matters. It really fucking matters. It's like now you can begin again, because this 8 energy is aligning with this purple, with the abundance, with the synchronicity, with the following your dreams that's sitting here. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing to be left behind is this fucking gray area that amounted to nothing. You've got the one here. It's time to take the lead on something, and you have to take yourself out of it, because it was really hampering and putting a damper on your new beginnings and your self-discipline. It was really, really difficult for you to actually remain disciplined, because this was just, like I said, it was a constant reminder, it was constant residue, kind of littering your path. It wasn't a clear path to walk, and you really couldn't sense or get the signals, because the foul association of what you were dealing with, it had a putrid type of lingering odor to it. But now your environment will change, because you're rid of this. You're rid of this. Think of if something that color was on your fucking plate, it would not be palatable. You know what I mean? So it had to be removed. It's like that cafeteria lunch sludge, which I've never personally encountered. Even my lunch in high school was like chicken salads and damn near like Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches and shit. Like, we had some good food. We had soups of the day, and maybe that's just in Illinois. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck y'all eating everywhere else. But it wasn't gourmet, but it was closer. It was even better than fast food, though. Okay, I like this. It's a very productive energy. That sacral chakra that I said that you had on lock, that you're now using in a proper way. We have modesty, I don't know why I'm showing you like that. Modesty. So this is about someone else. But the karmic completion is removed. It's like I have these 6 cards here, and then there's one here. This modesty is where this this leadership is coming in. It's underneath the abundance, though. The quality of behavior which expresses the proper balance between extremes. The possible extremes are lived out in life's rhythms. This is the gate of the aura. I like Pisces. Extremes, the love of humanity. Self-defense, sensitivity, the wallflower, ego inflation, influence, and duty. So that duty brings me back to the parenting card. Ego inflation, self-defense, those are ringing really, really loudly to me when it comes to love and communication. There's something about it being a duty that influences the way that a person actually presents themselves in the name of parenthood or in their parenting style. It's regurgitated or manipulated to be a certain way in opposition to the way it was done to them, or in conjunction to the way it was done to them. And it's like this, you're coming into a place of leadership. Like, who the fuck am I? What the fuck do I want to instill in my child? Why is it necessary? How do I want to take this? My communication to my child, my love for my child will be expressed in this manner, will be done in this way. I prefer this type of environment because it's what's best for them. Taking the ego out of it, right? And a lot of times parents will make decisions, or our parents made decisions based off their ego inflation because it didn't benefit them in order to make a decision for their child that would benefit their child alone. Because they were parent, had to be included as if it was a personal effect on them having to set their ego aside for the children. Like it hurts their ego. It really does damage their character or something to give their child what is indeed the very best for them and not be self-serving. I'm not going there. Then we have peace. We just had this for Taurus come up. But it says the harmonic condition in the individual or society that permits assessment before renewed action. Ideas are captured over time. One who seeks stimulation. Ideas are stimulation for reflection. Adaptability, philanthropist, teacher, the realist, rigor, attunement. And taming power of the small. Potential can be filled through detailed attention to all pertinent aspects. Logic demands determination and continued experimentation. Focus empowers the entire process. Gratitude, faith, dedication, the straw that breaks the camel's back. Misery loves company. Sensibility. So you're getting away from that, pretty much. It's over with. Because you've taken the leadership approach. This is a 9. 81 is a product of 9. But also 8 plus 1 is 9. So that is resounding in and of itself. It's just letting me know it was real subtle. The more gratitude you took, like for some reason you caught on to these synchronicities and you started to express more gratitude. You started to have more faith, more dedication towards the shit that actually fucking mattered. And it made a big difference. Therefore, this karma that was lingering, and it had a lot to do with the parenting. It wasn't even your own situation to deal with. It was the heirs of the fathers. For fathers. Not necessarily your father, but it could be. It very well could be. And therefore, the way that you parent, mother or father, can be influenced and affected by this karmic imprint that you're carrying. Before I do that, let me get you 2 chakra stones, one rough, to see where We have the internal or influence that needs to be worked on. That's that red jasper. And a smooth, tumbled, engraved chakra stone to see what is obvious. Solar plexus. So this is definitely aligning with, for you've got courage now. You're going to communicate what the fuck you need to communicate. Say what you need to say, but from a balanced place. Not to cause harm, but not to take no shit either. So when it came to this karmic completion, you have the influence. You have the influence of this red jasper stone that was giving you. It literally, I shit you not. Oh, y'all made me take out the notebook. Okay. Red jasper. It's Egyptian based. It's a grounding stone for the root and sacral chakras. This assists with engagement of environment, eliminates distractions and procrastination, helps you achieve your dreams and goals. Follow your dreams, right? It says, clears emotional and physical body. This was a clearing. Therefore, you can be in a clear environment. Best self, authenticity, discernment, a breakaway stone from toxins, environments, inner strength, companions. Wow. I can dig it. There's other stones that I'm looking up and doing research on because the way that I want to implement them. I love my stones. They all carry their own weight. This is a very raw cut stone. It's not tumbled. It's not polished. So you had to give it to them raw like ODB. Like you really had to let a motherfucker know what you stood for and what you stood on, and you were not gonna back down from it. Like they had to get the message. They had to get the fucking message. Self-discipline also was implemented, but they had to get the message loud and clear to understand and you be understood that they can't make you into or make you be like or have you conform to their parenting style. Even if it was your own parents that you're internally battling, or another parent that you're co-parenting with, or a person that you're currently sharing environment with. It's like there will be peace in this motherfucker. I don't know what you got going on, but if I can't find peace here, then I have to go. And the parenting now, it has to be done with a level of love and a level of concise, clear, focused communication. And it be made very clear. This is not personal to you as a parent, whoever I'm parenting with. This is my contribution to being a parent. Even if it hurts your ego, because I'm not being this abundant and generous and taking the lead with you, means nothing when it comes to my child, a product of me. I'm going to take care and take heed and really raise my seed. It shouldn't be offensive to you. I felt that. It's like somebody's taking it personal. This karmic completion, after this karmic completion comes the 11, which is peace. Okay? So there will be peace. I was getting those peaceful energies anyway when I saw this. But it's something about your communication that was long overdue. It was very, very necessary for you to implement this communication this way. And you couldn't have done it at a better time. You've done it at a time where this person needed to learn that particular lesson that only you could deliver through this circumstance. All right. This is getting long. Well, it's not that long. Not that long. This is upside down. The deck is upside down. I'm going to keep it, though. I'm going to keep it that way. We got the Ace of Swords reversed. You weren't speaking up in this manner for a very long time. And it wasn't that you couldn't. It was that it wasn't the right time. It was never a missed opportunity to do so. It just was, it was very much delayed. And it took you being on the losing end and being confused and constantly confused, thinking like what the fuck? I can't do anything without feeling this shit looming over me, or feeling this blockage, or feeling like I'm just ass out, like I cannot move. You could, but it took for you to realize that this sword was even there. The remedy was your own communication. And that's why now it's coming in as a strength. It's coming in polished and refined, stamped. Like you've done what you needed to do with your communication now, but you had to learn the value of what this communication can do, or what your communication could do, the way that it can hit like nobody else's communication could hit about this subject, to this person, about this thing. There's a way that you delivered this communication that made it make the difference. So we have the Queen of Pentacles here. Communicating about parenting. If the opposition is not parenting itself, it could be the loving communication that's coming in is about nurturing something, about actually raising something in an environment where communication, abundance, leadership, synchronicity, all these things are prevalent, that are constant. There's always room for growth. There's always room for alignment, with these numbers being doubles. When we have the Lovers, damn, we got the Six of Cups. Page of Swords. I got the High Priestess right here. Let me get one more. Oh, this is the karmic completion. Other parents. Okay, you got the Magician at the bottom. It's an overall energy. So I knew this had to be you administering this communication. The only remedy was the way that you could give it, the way that you could bring it. Okay, it's something about the mother here as the parent. The mother is the blockage. Conformity. Restrictive. Sitting on her high horse. Pretty much just, this the way that, this is, it could be a trend of the way the women are. It could be the trend of the way their style of parenting. It could be the, fuck it, I'll do it on my own. Or I don't need no, or I'm supposed to be taken care of. It could be an ideology that is outdated. So this Magician has been working their ass off. Because I don't see the Emperor coming up at all. I see 3 queens, but only the Queen of Pentacles is actually in the spread. When it came to karmic completion, when it comes to the Wheel of Fortune, people are like, oh, it's good luck, it's fortune, it's favor, it's turning in your favor. It turned in someone's it turned out to be a missed event or a missed opportunity for someone else. These 2 queens are very much alike. They're very active in the way that they assert themselves. And it has been damaging. It has been very damaging. We have the Devil with the Hierophant, with the Empress, that lets me know the damage. And times are changing. karmic completion. These are 2 10s. Their time is up. It is a timing card, and it is about fucking time. It's about time. The way that they tell you how to fucking do what you gotta do, they try to outdo you with actions, or try to impose action on you, trying to make decisions for you. It's got to stop, and it has. But that is exactly why we got High Priestess that was here. Well, it's really after the Page of Swords. But this was something known. This was something known. Okay. But not realized. Ace of Swords in reverse. It was known and not realized. I don't know. The High Priestess could go. I think the High Priestess, if I could split this bitch, like make a carbon copy of her, she's at the beginning and the end. That's the only reason why you were able to go through this the way that you were supposed to go through this. Even though it felt turbulent, even though it felt tumultuous, you knew that you had to in order, and those are the building blocks that build your communication and your solar plexus energy the way it actually needs to be built, because then you'll be able to freely love in your environment and feel safe to do so. You'll be able to speak your mind and follow your heart and use your third eye, be able to see love, recognize it when you feel it, when you see it, when you know it. And there was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of confusion to where you couldn't even recognize it when it was in front of your face. Something solid, something stable, something loving, nurturing, communicative. The environment is plush. You know what I'm saying? You have all of this support here, and you couldn't even use it. You couldn't even see it. You couldn't even accept it. There's been a change in you. There's been a shift in you. And the courage is just amplified. These cards even have that yellow, that gold hue on them. And that, to me, even brings this full circle with the reading. You got the Six of Cups and the Lovers. And it's like inner child and higher selves. Your spiritual self, your evolved self, your grown ass, old rocking chair sitting self can see that this is the same person that feels like you can feel that childhood wonder with. You're seeing them in two different ways. And it's like, I can see High Priestess on both ends. I can see the innocence in you, and I can see the maturity in you, to the point where all you can really see when you take these, because they're both sixes as well. They're both sixes. And the sixth card is love itself and communication. 3 + 3 is 6. So when it comes to this parenting, quite literally, this connection with this person has been parenting your inner child, as well as being parented by the higher self. High Priestess on both sides. Seeing the beginning and being able to see the end. And just having to bring your focus back to the present and who's in the present. If you're yielding the sword, as the page of swords, you're yielding the sword and you're not speaking, this person is not going to turn around. That willpower, that courage had to finally be used. It had always been there. It was in his hand the whole time. And that's because they're quite literally, they're looking at all of this. Because it was like this. No, it was like this. They're looking at all of this. And when it comes down to it, they're still a person that resounds, not just appealing to their innocence, and when it comes to parenting, to feel nurtured in that way by another human being, whether they're your parent or not, it makes a difference. Because we all have this inner child. And if a person's not caring for you as if you have the heart of a child, innocent and needs to be cared for like one, then the best of you will not even be able to show. It won't even feel safe to. It'll feel like that child that was parented incorrectly, that hinders you. So inner child and your most mature self are in agreement about the Queen of Pentacles. Because this was it was too much. It was too much, and this was doing too much. And it was like, it wasn't getting anything done though. So the elements had to be used in a different way. Pisces is coming up as the magician. Who's the magician's companion? Look at the similarities. These are the only two cards that flower and bloom like that. So that's what Pisces has been doing. Magician and High Priestess is a badass match. Pisces energy with the Mercury, Virgo, Gemini energy. It's a badass match. It's a badass match in a good way. Because the actions are like instinctual, intuitively instinctual. And they're coming from a place of inner knowing, which you can't really get on a topical surface. It has to be like this. You have to get it in a sincere type of way in order to receive it. It has to speak to the heart of a child. This is why parenting is so important. This is why these two specifically stood out to me as being very fucking important. Being able to communicate love even in the face of difficulty, even in the face of not knowing, even in the face of fear. Like, there had to be this breakthrough. I don't know what's going to happen to the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. I want to be nosy. I just want to be nosy. Ooh. Got the Emperor on the bottom. Show me Queen of Swords. She looks pissed. Queen of Swords is coming in with communication. Queen of Swords. The Sun. No. It's over with. The World card on the bottom. I'll put that right there. Trying to speak now. Pisces is guarded. Like, you've done enough. You've done enough damage. I'm in this, like, with your influence, this shit has been like this now. Like, this is your doing. That Nine of Wands is this leadership. Person finally standing the fuck up. Like, nah, I'm good. I can do it on my own. I got it. Queen of Wands. So maybe that was the Queen of Swords is a teacher of some sort. Queen of Wands is Four of Swords. Queen of Wands. She's got the Hierophant and the Five and the Five of Cups. That's a no-go. I told you that these queens aligned with that Hierophant devil energy. This is what it left them. And you got the Eight of Cups at the bottom. So it's like, even still, it was slept on. It wasn't something, it's something that you always had to heal from. You constantly had to heal from. Always felt like you weren't good enough, like you didn't have enough, like it wasn't enough love, or you weren't getting enough love. These are fucking fives. They're pure ass challenge. But I feel like also that influence is what made the wheel come turning. This Five of Cups was so unhappy in the circumstance, the wheel had to turn so it could get back to a place of purity, so it could get back to a knowing of what it felt like. And that's why they were able to act in the way that they did and take the action. asserting themselves in that communicative, that strong, powerful way, and just to say enough is enough. This is it. I can't do this. This is not working. No, no, no. Like, that's a complete sentence. The word no. And that's it. I wanted to be nosy. I'm glad I was, though. It was for good reason. So that is all for your reading. It was very enlightening. But yeah, you got your new beginning. So now things can go in a more your type of way. Now you can figure out what life is really like for you. Now that you're not following, somebody else making decisions for you, or influencing how you decide or how you act, or limiting the way that you can act in order to appease their ways. The Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords are going to be more masculine and more driven towards the status quo anyway. They're females with masculine energy. So you have to know the difference. The Queen of Pentacles is a woman, female energy with feminine energy. It's yin. It is in more of an alignment. It's like the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands telling a man how to be a father. But you're a woman and a man and not a man. You only can tell him how you believe a father can act, or how you perceive a father to be, or what fatherhood means to you, but you cannot tell them how to be a dad. That's something you will never do. You will never be a man, even if you got a surgery to transform yourself in that way, physiologically, biologically, even mentally. You are not a man. It's simple. There are distinct differences harmoniously, energetically, vibrationally, that are just unique to who you naturally are before the reconstruction. And that's just how I feel. But I'm just saying, that's where a person cannot tell another person how to. This isn't building a fucking dresser drawer. This is something else. These are skill sets that are built, and that's something you're not, if it's not just giving people life skills to build up on, like the values, like having integrity, what the value of honesty is, and certain things like that. But when you get specific, role specific, that's something that you can't teach the opposite role. Unless you have a penis, you can't tell another dad shit. It has to be like and like. Like those two women, the Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands, can talk about motherhood all day long. They're both in a position to be mothers. But when you try to transcend energetic boundaries, not just energetic, spiritual, gender, the two genders in relation to universal law, I'm speaking. Don't give me all this other stuff, how they want to bend the law and gender bend. We're not going there. I'm speaking specifically on a plug being masculine and feminine, and a socket being feminine, and how those two need to be what they are in order to work. The moment the socket tries to manipulate that plug, you have an electrical fucking outage. You have sparks. You have fire. The tower ensues because they don't work. They don't fit. They malfunction. Quite simply scientific. Universally speaking. So I'm going to leave that alone because that just got real specific. I'll talk to y'all later.